Welcome students, let's start today the unit 2 topic, that is electromagnetic spectrum and the spectrophotometry. So let us understand the electromagnetic spectrum. What is a electromagnetic spectrum? Electromagnetic spectrum is referred to the light. Light has because light has two dual characteristics, that is a particulate and wave form. When the light is in the wave form, we refer it as electromagnetic. It is in the electromagnetic wave form, or when it is in a particulate form, it is in the photons of energy. So the speed of light is 3.0 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second, which is the highest speed of highest known speed of any thing in the object known to the physicist or anywhere in the universe. So let us study about electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum is a wave, as I said, so it will have different axes. So the axes include x-axis and y-axis. So here the y-axis is the electric field and the x-axis is the magnetic field, and the light is propagating from left. Let us say the light is propagating from the left to right direction. So there are some terminologies that we have to understand before trying to understand spectrophotometry. So let us understand the electromagnetic spectrum and its terminologies. So when we are talking that light is traveling from one place to another in the electromagnetic form, in the wave form, that is in the electromagnetic spectrum, what it does is, this is the axis, and in the axis it is traveling from so in the axis it is going from one point to another point at highest. So this is the highest point in which the light is going to vibrate in the wave form, and then again it is going in the negative form, and again the cycle is going to get continued. From lowest it will go to the highest, and again in the opposite direction, from negative from lowest negative to the highest negative. So this is known as wavelength, or and also referred as lambda. So wavelength is measured in centimeters or micrometers or nanometers, or other unit is the Armstrong unit. So the 1 Armstrong refers to 10 raised to minus 8 centimeters. Then how frequently the light can vibrate, how frequently one wavelength is in how much short amount of time, or in 1 second, how much time the light can go from this positive end to the negative end, and then again to the positive end. That is referred as frequency, or and represented as mu. So let us so mu, that is the frequency, is equal to the speed of light upon the wavelength of light. The higher the wavelength of light, the lower will be speed of light. The lower will be the frequency of light. The higher, the lesser the wavelength of light, higher will be the frequency of light. So C here is the speed of light, or the velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. Also, this is the very important concept. The y-axis, in the y-axis it is the electric field, while in the x-axis is the magnetic field of vibration, and this z-axis is the time, from 1 second to 2 second, 2 second, 3 seconds, 4 second. As the time is going ahead, the light is traveling farther and further. So this was introduction about electromagnetic spectrum. Then, as we said, that electromagnetic spectrum will be having different wavelengths, and this different wavelengths give us different amount of different types of waves or electromagnetic different way. It gives us different types of lights or rays. So we refer them as, some of them as gamma rays, some of X-rays, some as ultraviolet rays, some as visible rays, some as infrared rays, some as microwave rays, and some as radio waves. So let us see how do we distribute them as different waves. So on the basis of the wavelength, means how from one point of positivity to the next point of negativity, how fast the how much distance there is from the positive end, from the crest to the trough, is the measure of, is the wavelength. This is the concept. So if the wavelength is very less, it is in the nanometers, as small as 0.01 nanometers, then it is in the nuclear, this rays are referred as gamma rays. These gamma rays are very harmful in nature. These are only produced while there is a nuclear transition, means in the atom of the in any atom, nucleus is there. So whenever there is any nuclear fission or fusion reactions, at this level only these rays are produced. The next type of rays are the X-rays. These X-rays have the wavelength of 0.1 nanometer, and it also occurs in the atomic level only, in the inner shell of during the in the shells of electrons, the inner shells of electrons, the first shell, the second shell, in such small spaces these X-rays are generated. Then comes the UV range, that is the ultraviolet range. The UV range have wavelengths from 2 to 120 nanometers. Also sometimes you will find that UV range will be around 200 to 400 centimeter inverse. This is also measured as 200 to 400 centimeter inverse. So yeah, UV range, the ultraviolet range occurs, how does the UV range, how do we get light from the UV range? When valence electron transition occur at the atomic level, then UV rays is produced. Then comes the visible range. Visible range refers to the light that we can see, that our human eye can perceive. Any light that goes in our retina, and then image is created because of the light, that is the visible range of light. We cannot see any of the waves in any of these except all the X-rays, gamma rays, UV, infrared, microwave, radio waves. We can't see them. Only light, type of light that we see, the light that is emitted by sun or the tube light in your room, is the visible range light. It is in the range of 400 to 800. It is sometimes it is referred as 800, sometimes it is referred as 780 nanometers. So in the different books you will find it different. You will find it in different range, 720 or 800. Then comes the infrared. The visible range has the 7 main colors, that is the VIBGYOR, violet, indigo, red, violet, indigo, green, yellow, orange and red. These are the colors of your visible range light. You must have done the prism experiment in standard 12th. In that prism experiment you must have seen different colors of light emitted because of the splitting of light. That is the light obtained in the visible range. The prism splits the light into its constituent 7 colors. Then comes the infrared. Infrared is falling from 25,000 nanometers to 1,25,000 nanometers. So when does this range when does this infrared vibrations occur? When there is a molecular vibration or rotation, infrared light is emitted in this during this process. So the molecules, example, a water molecule H2O. So the oxygen is binded to the two atoms of hydrogen on either side. So there will be some pulling of electrons from hydrogen to oxygen, oxygen to hydrogen. During this is the example I am saying. So during this pulling and pushing of electrons between the two atoms of the same molecule, or the rotation of bonds that is occurring during and within any molecule, this molecular infrared rays are emitted in that particular molecule. Then comes the microwave and the radio wave. These have the longest wavelengths. The shortest wavelength is for gamma rays and the longest wavelength is for the radio waves. So let us see about microwave and radio waves. Microwaves and radio waves are measured in centimeter because they are quite measurable in centimeters. So microwave has a range of 0.005 to 30 centimeters and radio waves are 300 centimeter and above wavelength is the radio waves. So this microwave and radio waves occur when there is vibration in the nucleus or in the electromagnetic field. So whenever you give a magnet, electricity is supplied to a magnet, then it creates this particular microwave and radio waves. So with this principle of microwave and radio wave, they are the concept of microwave oven and the FM radio that we can hear. This was established with the help of microwave and radio waves. So you can see that all the light from the spectrum, electromagnetic spectrum, is used by us in some or other way, such as the gamma rays and the X-rays are used for cancer treatment. X-rays are used for diagnostic purposes to find out fractures in bones, etc. Then UV light is used for detecting concentrations of different substances in the UV absorbing substances in our in any solutions. We will come to this later on. Then visible range is the light that we can see for our day-to-day work. Then infrared light is also used for detection of chemical bonds in the in any unknown chemicals, etc. The microwave and radio waves are widely used as microwave ovens and radio FM radios respectively. So this brings us to the end of electromagnetic spectrum and its application. You can also find online material for this. Just whenever, if you find any online material, if you are planning to read from outside also, please refer me the notes. Then I will check whether they are authentic or reliable. Then you can proceed with it.